The locket of love curse grips Tamika's heart, tightening along the Cape Fear River's banks where rising floods gnaw at every hope. A poor girl, her love for Darius, a noble son, burning bright, suddenly loses her capacity to love, just as trust begins to bloom. Tamika's yearning eyes quietly survey shattered homes, starving children amid the storm's havoc, while the community's whispers choke her emotions. But tonight, as the crescent moon pierces crevices beneath the river, Selena, the enigmatic mermaid, emerges, offering Tamika the key to break an ancient curse. Will true love prove strong enough to shatter dark magic? Tune in for a mystical journey, igniting faith, miracles in everyday life. Subscribe now. Don't miss the next mysteries. Once upon a time, by the shimmering banks of the Cape Fear River at dawn, an African-American community awoke in the sacred embrace of earth and sky. Morning mist gently lifted from ancient tamarind leaves, painting a hazy canvas laced with vibrant pink across rustling bamboo. Late rising birds mingled with pulsing drumbeats, heralding traditional rhythms as soaring lullabies floated, and folks in dazzling attire stepped out to greet the day. Amid this scene, Tamika shone like a star in the morning sky, a poor girl, slender with long, curly hair cascading down her back, her eyes clear as dawn's dew. From childhood, Tamika knew poverty, but never let it steal her dreams. Each dawn, she rose before others to fetch water, gather firewood, then hurried to the riverside banana bread stall, where Darius waited, offering her a warm, fresh loaf. Her hands, dusted with flour, were to his eyes those of a beautiful, cherished woman. They met under tamarind shade, where river breezes carried salt scent, distant laughter. Darius, in a crisp vest despite his casual visit, handed Tamika fragrant bread, his gaze tender as twilight's rays. She flashed a shy smile, innocent as a child first in love, feeling her heart pulse with life. The divides of their worlds, rich and poor, noble and labourer, melted as they held hands, lost in country hollow's sway. But behind the drums, trumpet blasts, the shadow of Darius's future mother-in-law, Gloria, lurked watchfully. Gloria in regal silk, eyes icy sharp, hid no scorn. A lowly girl dares stand beside my son. To her, Tamika's simple love was intolerable, a stain threatening their lofty status. Venomous whispers spread. She lives on river water, not gold. Day by day, darkness cloaking the riverbank grew beyond mere mist. It shrouded Tamika's dreams. She still quietly helped villagers mend homes after floods, shared fragrant loaves, warm smiles, but her heart slowly sealed shut. As dusk faded on the water, Darius's eyes still sought her, but Tamika only offered a faint smile, her gaze distant, adrift in unreachable memories. Many nights, as folks returned home after meager meals, Tamika slipped to the riverbank. The crescent moon mirrored on calm waters, breezes through leaf gaps whispered like echoes of the past. She quietly clasped the locket of love, Darius's keepsake gift, but her heart no longer stirred as before. That was when the curse's magic began to bind her, stripping her ability to love, like a lotus snapped in a marsh. The community, once fond of Tamika, turned away, believing her cold to failed harvests, the pain of their poor village. Children wailed as she passed, as if sensing an invisible chill radiating from her. Though Tamika's hands still deftly mended broken roofs, shored up levees, her eyes no longer sparkled with hope. Each night, the Cape Fear River quietly washed away her footprints, but not the wound in her heart, a wound echoing the curse of her future mother-in-law, reminding her, second by second, that love was now a luxury. Yet, in the darkest night of despair, a glow flickered from the river's depths. Selena, the mermaid guardian of love, emerged, her pearlescent skin shimmering, her green hair flowing like precious silk. Her eyes gleamed with compassion, brimming with hope. She handed Tamika a moonlit locket, fragile as a beam in the black night. Whispering, she led her to a mystic cave beneath the river, where only moonlight through stone slits could fully unveil the curse's truth. The scene of the radiant waterhall unfolded. Corals glowing like 1,000 fireflies, inlaid shells glinting like gems. On stone walls, reliefs carved the tragic tale of Gloria's lineage, where power, jealousy, shattered kinship. Ancestral memories echoed in rippling waves, demanding the guilty repent. Tamika felt her heartbeat merge with the ocean's pulse, resolved to press forward. Facing Gloria in the cave's heart, Tamika stepped slowly, her heart opening like a lotus rising from mire. Gloria, in resplendent black velvet, her eyes widened, seeing the poor girl now wearing the enchanted moonlit locket. The curse shattered as Selena summoned memories of the sister Gloria killed for ambition. Gloria trembled, collapsing before blood-soaked recollections. In that choked moment, the moonlit locket fell to the stone floor, bursting into countless rays and magic flared. Gloria surrendered all her wealth to Tamika, to atone for her sins against the lineage, love. Each tear of remorse lashed her soul, dissolving long, lingering gloom. As Cape Fear's surface gleamed anew with dawn's light, Tamika and Darius knelt under the old tamarind, vowing never to part. Festival drums thundered across the dock. Selena appeared amid misty spray, joining traditional hollers. Villagers clasped hands, dancing in celebration, lifting Tamika as a heroic child who brought magic, rekindling faith, love in the community. And the lesson etched in morning's glow, jealousy sows only division, but forgiveness, true love can heal wounds. Any family may fracture, but forgiveness forges miracles. Beneath Cape Fear, the curse dissolved. But does a new trial await? Subscribe, share, comment to uncover the next chapter of this mystic legend. From their first meeting by the fragrant banana bread cart, Darius and Tamika's love sprouted like a lotus rising through fertile marsh. In a golden afternoon glow, Darius, the noble's son, paused at the roadside stall. He gently placed a fresh-baked loaf in Tamika's hands, steam rising, honey sweetness mingling with rich butter. His gaze lingered on her lips, where a shy smile bloomed, pure as a lotus bud parting murky waters. Tamika, a poor girl with long curls trailing down her back, couldn't hide her mix of surprise, joy. In that moment, the market's clamour faded, leaving only the bread's warmth, their racing heartbeats. They spoke through glances, sharing heart whispers without words. That love, simple and clear, wove into life's small corners, making Tamika feel no longer alone amid endless toil. But beyond dusk's glow, the Cape Fear River's soothing lap, another figure lurked in the shadows. Gloria, Darius's mother. Regal in fine black silk, she stood stern at the mansion gate, eyes sharp as honed blades. Maternal love in her had twisted to envy, seeing Tamika, ragged, toil-worn, tending hearths, trailing her son through streets, like an intruder in their lavish world. From the first family dinners, Gloria hid no contempt. She accepted the rice Tamika served, but her eyes judged, only rustics cook themselves. Nobles never soil hands in kitchens. Malicious whispers took root. She's lowly, sweat-stained, unfit to stand by my son. From then, she sowed relentless slander into the family's air. Sometimes, when Darius brought Tamika to visit, laughter in the ornate parlour only highlighted their divide. Tamika sat prim before a carved wooden table, fingers fidgeting with her worn hem, striving for calm. Meanwhile, Gloria sipped lemon tea, coolly probing. "What have you prepared for the harvest festival? Or do you only stomp by riverside tamarinds?" Her tone was soft, but each syllable carried a wounding edge. From that meal, Tamika keenly felt the family's reaction. Probing glances behind curtains, forced smiles, a silent void swallowing her budding love. Though Darius fiercely defended her, holding her hand, Gloria's words echoed in her mind. "You come from toil, unworthy of full love." Even as Tamika returned to her thatched riverside home, wind slipped through cracked windows and the night seemed colder. She sighed softly by her simple bed. moonlight streaking the river like a silver scratch. Within her, that budding trust trembled. She wondered, could love be vast enough to conquer countless barriers? Could she hold her fragile heart steady amid storms of envy, rich, poor, prejudice? Crumbly bread scraps on the dark wooden table bore witness to their afternoon together. Tamika gathered each piece, carefully tucking them into a bag as if preserving love's faint warmth. In that moment, a fragile strength surged within. True love needed no measure, only to warm the soul. She vowed, no matter the obstacles, she'd stand resilient like a lotus in a marsh, rising from mud to bloom. Day after day, braving prying stares, Tamika quietly helped neighbours mend homes after floods, shared warm loaves with children. Yet deep in her heart, she yearned for moments with Darius, free from judgment. The pride of Gloria's lineage weighed heavy on her shoulders, but she refused to let it halt her. For that first love had planted an unyielding faith. Though poor, though wronged, true love would find a way to hearts daring to open. Then, one dusk, as the sun sank behind bamboo, Darius appeared, a warm banana loaf in hand, his gaze still rich with devotion. Gossip seemed non-existent, replaced by steadfast trust. Tamika, you deserve this happiness. She nodded faintly, her eyes glinting with new hope. Though the world might be harsh, though envy's shadow loomed thick, their love bloomed like a pure lotus, defying tempests, muddy silt. The flood roared down from upriver, silver waters churning, breaching banks, swallowing vegetable patches, tranquil paths. In the poor village corner, Tamika threw on a thin raincoat, her resolute gaze fixed on neighbours' crumbling roof tiles. Though her slender shoulders ached from yesterday's long trek, her hands smiled, touching each chipped tile. In that moment, her heart swelled, faith in a brighter tomorrow, in community strength, above all in Darius's image, silently calling her name amid swirling waters. Hammer taps blended with waves crashing shore, weaving an enchanting melody. Tamika bent to pick up a broken tile, tucking it close, wistful for Darius's gentle presence. Since their love began, she'd dreaded facing his mother Gloria's prejudiced stares. But today, with levees crumbling, orchard paths submerged, standing still meant being swept away by silver torrents. She knew she couldn't falter, though her heart once quaked under gossip's weight. Then she used ropes the villagers tied to brace stones against waves, balancing precariously on a new-built wall, barefoot in slick mud. Mud splattered her skin, but her eyes held no weariness. Tamika recalled the previous dusk, when Darius led her to a riverside garden, where camellias bloomed red under eaves. He gave her a fresh-picked flower, whispering a vow to shield her through any storm. That deep promise drove her through today's countless struggles. A light rain followed the flood, as if mingling sky's tears with the people's anxieties. Families from upper and lower villages gathered, sharing quick hugs, water bottles, clothes not yet dried. In that somber air, Tamika still flashed a warm smile, encouraging a widowed elder to tidy her basket of stray fish washed ashore. Her hands moved deftly like straw braiding village spirit, evoking rainy days when her mother skillfully patched blankets, beaming, "You'll get through." High above, from the gold-trimmed mansion balcony, Gloria stood stern. Wind teased her hair, carrying damp rain, river's salty scent. She peered down at Tamika hunched in mud, mending roofs for the destitute. Her eyes flickered with doubt. Could her son's love endure the flood's test? She recalled the banker's words. A poor girl could never match the wealth, prestige Darius must inherit. In her heart, class prejudice never faded. She'd planned to wait for Darius to mature, then arrange a fitting marriage. But Tamika's presence derailed every scheme. Wind from upriver whipped Tamika's matted hair, but her hands didn't pause. She smelled roadside hearth smoke, heard children wailing in rainy dark. Without hesitation, she stooped to grab a broken brick, setting it on the makeshift levee, tying a cloth strip around rotting wood. Each hammer strike cast off fears of the future, silently answering the scornful glare from the balcony. True love always finds a way through thorns. Watching Tamika toil, mud-streaked in rain, Gloria felt it time to rouse her son. She snatched a thin, shearling coat, striding into the parlour, casting a frigid glance at an unframed wedding photo. Darius, in regal attire, smiling brightly beside a noble girl she'd chosen. The image stung, like a strange scratch on her palm. She scoffed, muttering, "Their love's just a mirage. It'll vanish with the flood." Yet Gloria's seething didn't sway Tamika. She quietly left the levee, mud-soaked feet trudging toward the village shack's narrow path. Dim lamplight glowed from windows. Gaunt shadows used crates to block water seeping into cement walls. Tamika deftly handed out plastic buckets, small sandbags, then turned to help elders haul bricks to rebuild foundations. In her heart, Darius's vow was a guiding lamp. Even if we carry the world on our shoulders, we won't let go. In a hushed moment after rain, Tamika paused, gazing at the distant mansion. Her eyes blazed with resolve. Though Darius's haughty mother loomed like storm clouds, she'd stand firm as the river's old tamarind. The hunger to live, to love, flared fiercely in her heart like stubborn sparks in the night. She knew when Selena, the Cape Fear River's mermaid, appeared, all prejudice would dissolve and true love would triumph over fate. And viewers' souls, entwined in tales of hard lives, will see love isn't just tender vows, but strength to rise amid tempests. That sombre afternoon, as floods wrought ruin, was when courage, love were forged fiercest. Tamika, though frail, proved a poor heart can hold vast love, enough to heal wounds, bloom amid silver waters. That night, Gloria clutched a blackwood box in her wrinkled hands, gliding softly along the river's stone path. Silver moonlight draped the water, her shadow slanting on dew-soaked grass. Her eyes flashed with ambition as the enchanted locket, Cape Fear Legend's Locket of Love, fell within her grasp. She knew a sinister curse could turn that beautiful love into inescapable torment. Beneath an old wooden attic, she knelt at the river cave's mouth, night breezes through stone slits carrying plankton's whispers. Her cursed incantations slid from her lips like a dark stream. Whoever wears this locket, their heart shall seal, unable to stir. Around her, waves lapped the shore, echoing sighs of the suffering. The silent water, unsuspecting, etched fate into every ripple. Next morning, Tamika reeled, finding the old locket, Darius's sunset gift, now dangling around her neck. She froze as fingers brushed its base, tasting a strange saltiness like river's sweat. Her heart, once brimming with hope, turned icy. Beats that pulsed vibrantly at dawn now ticked in cold silence. She heard her heart splinter like a dry leaf in rain. Walking among the riverbank crowd, Tamika felt the change keenly. Probing stares, whispers grazed her ears. Why is she so callous? What love's so cold? Children's laughter, her once warm smiles, now alien shadows making onlookers shiver, wondering if any flower blooms without water. But the wicked locket sealed her heart, tight as a cave deep beneath the river. Darius sought her by the ancient tamarind, his eyes still rich with love. He brushed her curls, whispering a question, but she answered with a faint smile. His voice trembled with worry. "Are you okay?" She shook her head mutely, hiding pain behind blank eyes. He let go, his face a tangle of doubt. Their love, once a pristine lotus, now seemed buried in fertile muck. At dusk, Tamika roamed the village, still helping women mend levees, patch roofs post-flood. Under deft hands, broken tiles aligned, breached embankments sealed. Children trailed, tugging her, calling sister fondly, but her touch held no warmth. Their young eyes hesitated, questioning. "Sis, why don't you smile like before?" Tamika only nodded gently, her heart breaking apart. In the still night, upriver wind swept past porch railings, frogs croaking endlessly. Tamika sat by the window watching moonlight spill on the river, pondering the curse's roots. Gloria had once twisted Cape Fear's sacred power, destroying her sister's love to seize wealth. a dark secret buried in the river's depths, now sowing pain for another generation. Tamika pictured Gloria, hands limp in shadows, eyes coolly fixed on the rusted locket. At early dawn, before sunrise, Tamika quietly unclasped the locket, cradling it in calloused palms. She heard the water's silent call. Seek the cave, where moonlight pierces stone and magic awaits. Though her heart was sealed, love's yearning smouldered. She tied a thin scarf around her neck, tucked the locket in her pocket, and stepped into the riverside mangrove. The muddy trail led Tamika to the cave where Selena, the mermaid, awaited. Fading light dwindled, only ghostly moonlight pierced stone slits, illuminating still waters. Tamika slipped from the everyday world, entering a dreamlike realm. Beneath the river, plankton's hum narrated tales of love, hatred spanning generations. She knelt on slick sand, placing the locket before a stone carved with ancestral reliefs. On the wall, the silhouette of an earlier Gloria emerged, arms outstretched as if embracing a curse. Tamika peered into the relief's eyes, hearing echoed vows. Who seals their heart to love shall bear lifelong pain. She sighed softly, touching the locket, yearning to find strength to break it. The water lapped gently, urging her forward. In absolute silence, Selena appeared, her pearl eyes brimming with compassion. She snatched the locket from Tamika's hands, raising it above the water, moonlight glinting across the glistening space. Her slender fingers brushed its surface, then pressed it to Tamika's forehead, imparting divine warmth. She whispered, "True love alone. Only love can shatter hatred, deceit." Tamika felt the words seep into her veins, surging with sudden strength. Then Selena tossed the locket back onto the stone table. Its light flared, flooding the cave. River waves below grew rhythmic, like a soothing symphony. Tamika pressed the locket to Gloria's neck, manifested in the relief, her eyes glinting with late remorse. The curse unraveled, like a shattered seashell purging all resentment. As the locket fell, light dimmed. Tamika felt her heart pulse anew. Warm, alive, she smiled faintly, seeing Darius's form emerge through thin mist, his steps slow, eyes brimming with hope. Gloria, regaining her form, bowed, sobbing with belated apology. Her tears splashed the stone floor, merging with sacred waters. Emerging from the cave, dawn broke. Sunlight's thousand rays pierced the mangrove, sketching soaring birds. Tamika and Darius embraced by the riverbank, hearts swelling with new faith. Under a light drizzle, each glistening drop blessed their love. They turned to see the community gathered by fresh waters, cheering, hoisting Tamika, Darius, as heroes. And Selena from the depths, smiled, vanishing into waves, leaving the legend of the locket of love, forgiveness's power. Every life may fracture, but only when love triumphs over resentment does magic arise, healing all wounds. Dear viewers, grab a glass of water, relax a bit, and keep listening. The story's twists are just beginning. Drop a comment below to let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. I'm always thrilled to see who's joining us from around the globe. Leave a 1 in the comments if you love this story, so we can keep bringing you more captivating tales. Flickering oil lamps on porches along the riverbank no longer glowed with hope, as rumours blanketed the community. At first, they eyed Tamika with pity, believing she was drained from the flood, but slowly, dark whispers crept into every alley. She's so cold to Darius, only focused on charity, forgetting love. Some said if she truly loved, would she neglect the village in such despair? Others murmured softly, has she lost her heart? Amid the storm of gossip, Tamika quietly shouldered heavy rice sacks. She stoked fires at night, cooking steaming rice for villagers flocking post-storm. Her deft hands patched broken tiles, keeping roofs from leaking again. Though fresh rain dripped on tin, she stooped to gather slick wood, wrestled fallen bricks. Her deeds bore the poor villagers' trust, yet fueled their belief her heart had run dry. Passing through the market, glances wavered. Smiles came late, faint as wind through cracked doors. They saw Tamika hand rice to a trembling elder in floodwaters, rest a hand on a sobbing girl clinging to her mother, but their hearts no longer felt her spark of romantic love. The image pained Tamika's heart, yet she patiently smiled. Her eyes stayed warm for children, glinting hope for the forlorn, but her love for Darius grew distant, like a star veiled by thick clouds. Darius couldn't grasp why she met him with a detached smile. He visited the old banana bread cart, offering a warm loaf as on their first day. He called Tamika endlessly, but she only nodded faintly. That silence cut like an invisible blade, twisting the love he gave. The community watched him leave, eyes dim with defeat, their smug smiles whispering, "Guess their love wasn't real." After rain one afternoon, children swarmed the riverbank, skipping stones in puddles. Sometimes they glanced at Tamika by her charity rice stall, then turned shyly when she tried smiling at them. The carefree kids shouted, "Sister Tamika, more rice!" But their eyes flickered with doubt, as if wondering, why doesn't she smile at Darius anymore? Tamika bent down, handed a rice box, hiding deep sorrow in her gaze. At night, as her thatched home sank into darkness, Tamika sat by the window ledge. The scent of damp earth, pungent tamarind leaves, wafted in, soothing her soul. She touched the locket of love, the cursed locket Gloria slipped into her hands in the dark, feeling its cold etchings press into her skin. Her heart, once stirred by Darius's tender gaze, now lay silent, awaiting the unexpected. The crescent moon cast a slanted sky on the river, rippling waves whispering like Selena, the mermaid sorceress. Had Selena, since that night, seen the etched sorrow in Tamika's heart? For in her silent endurance, Tamika had sparked in the mermaid a yearning to redeem. The quiet river witnessed Tamika's blood, tears blend, weaving a gentle hum of compassion. The next day, Tamika sought the riverside garden, where floods had scoured soil, to sow kale, the morning glory seeds. Her hands, mud-streaked, held a spark of hope. Despite rumours breeding doubt, she nurtured new life. Sprouting kale, tender bamboo shoots rose from wet earth, proclaiming, "Love, forgiveness can bloom from the foulest ground." In her charity work, Tamika chanced upon Darius. He quietly offered a flask of fresh water, his eyes brimming with concern. "Are you okay?" She answered with a soft glance. They knelt, planting greens side by side, silent amid freshly turned soil's scent. All distance seemed to melt, yet the locket of love reminded her heart remained locked. When Selena appeared in the river's hidden cave, her pearlescent glow lit every shadow, guiding that budding love home. Tamika touched the locket, feeling a faint current pulse through her veins. Her heart's first stirrings rekindled love for Darius. Selena gave a gentle smile, as if shielding her from the curse's chains. In the radiant waterhall, ancestral reliefs of Gloria's lineage emerged, anemone lights dancing across past fractures. Tamika faced Gloria, her future mother-in-law, no longer timid, standing tall, eyes resolute. Gloria trembled at the ancestors' decree. Forsake resentment, the curse would dissolve. The locket shattered, its gem fragments light spreading, mending Tamika's heart. As lake waves calmed at dawn, Tamika's heart surged with love. Darius approached, enfolding her in warm arms. The community erupted, faith restored, lifting Tamika as one who sowed hope amid storms. Their gazes now held hesitant awe, no longer scorn. Tamika smiled at Darius, joy blooming like a lotus in a marsh, proof that true love holds power to break any curse. The crescent moon slipped through tamarind leaves, casting a fragile silver streak on the Cape Fear River. Suddenly, the serene water stirred alive as Selena emerged. From the river's depths, the mermaid rose like a shifting melody. Her skin glimmered like crystal laced with pearl, trembling in faint moonlight. Her sleek green hair swayed, blending with moss, silver foam. Her eyes pierced through profound sorrow, yet brimmed with deep compassion. The midnight air seemed to melt, leaving only lingering chill, the sigh of waves lapping shore. Selena needed no words, her presence was magic itself. Gliding lightly on water, she approached Tamika, who huddled under the tree, her heart flickering with hope, dread. Selena bent down, holding a moonlit locket, its silver ripples gleaming. Crafted from thin glass, it swirled with dew-like pearls, trapping the crescent moon within. Selena placed it gently around Tamika's neck, her hand warm as night sea breath, infusing her heart with new vitality. A prophetic whisper drifted like breeze. Seek the cave beneath the river. There, moonlight will pierce stone, unveiling the curse that binds your heart. Selena's smile held cryptic allure. Half hidden, half revealed in moonlit mist, she shared a secret known only to the river's ancient fish. Gloria, whom Tamika saw as a jealous future mother-in-law, had once wielded dark magic. Long ago, when Gloria's sister held a simple love with a common man, Gloria cast a sinister spell, shattering that bond to seize riverside land, mangrove woods, berry gardens half submerged, the old dock cradling countless memories. For ambition, she used the locket of love to seal her sister's heart, stripping her of love, dooming her to a toilsome life, while Gloria claimed the estate. Tamika listened, her heart stinging as if grazed by a blade. The tale revealed the curse didn't begin with her, but with Gloria's calculated past. Today's pain was merely fallout from an unrepentant sower of Yan Hen. Selena gazed deeply into Tamika's eyes, her hand pressing a lunar sigil onto the locket. Magic returns only when old wrongs are exposed, righted. You save not just your heart, but your lineage's soul. Waves murmured beneath, reflecting countless night stars. Tamika closed her eyes, letting the potent locket encircle her neck, feeling moonlight's chill on tender skin. Each breath rang like a shattering bell, marking her heart's awakening. Before her, the riverbank ceased to be love's grave, becoming a path to a secret realm where magic lay hidden, the cave buried deep underwater. Without hesitation, Tamika parted the crystal-clear water. Her bare feet glided over waves. Below, the cave yawned like a dragon's maw. Limestone walls gleamed jade green. Above, narrow fissures let moonlight spill, weaving silver ribbons like flowing silk. The air mingled salty brine, ancient moss, alive with plankton's hum, dripping water's chant. Tamika stepped in, each move spell-like. Her heart pulsed with joy, tinged with fear. The cave held not just water, but echoing memories. On stone walls, fragmented carvings told of the sisters Gloria, two girls hand in hand, dancing on sands, torn apart by ambition's storm. Moonlight revived these images. Tamika felt her shadow glide through their somber past. Her gaze locked on the central relief. A blinding silver flash illuminated every line of hatred. Unshed tears. In that sacred space, Selena appeared again, her eyes piercing secret's depths. Her voice, serene, affirmed the moonlit pendant's power. A kind heart could shatter chains of grudge, no matter how tightly woven. Facing Tamika, Selena saw her pain, lost capacity for love, community's rejection, and gifted her the purest treasure, faith in compassion. Hands trembling with emotion, Tamika stepped into the light, nearing the relief reflecting Gloria's sins. She reached out, touching the carved silhouette of young Gloria, then gently placed the pendant on the rough stone. Instantly, a radiant surge spread, cracking ancient silk to dust. A thunderous roar like surging waves awoke the ocean. The old curse shattered into moonlight's motes. There, a small tremor beneath didn't deter Tamika. Her heart flared with a thirst for forgiveness. Shattered crystal scales reflected hope's glint, dispelling darkness long rooted in Gloria's soul. Selena smiled, fulfilled, her starry eyes dissolving all resentment. The cave's waters surged, a silver stream flowing from its depths, bearing purification's mark. As the quake stilled, Tamika reclaimed the pendant, freed of darkness. Its crescent moon now glowed warm, radiating forgiveness, true love. Cradling it, she felt her veins pulse with the tide, Selena's heartbeat, a brave woman's, facing past to guard love. Leaving the cave, night's waters turned pristine, mirroring a tranquil sky. Selena faded into shadow, her smile a fleeting wave, vowing to watch over valiant hearts. Tamika returned to the riverbank, where Darius waited. His eyes sparked hope, seeing the radiant pendant at her neck. She smiled, touching his face without shrinking, for the first time. Under the twinkling crescent moon, two hearts found shared rhythm, etching a lesson. Only love, forgiveness can break hatred's chains, reviving magic in ordinary life. Tamika's steps sank into the riverbed, water growing icy. Moonlight pierced the surface, weaving a silver veil. The cave loomed like a colossal crystal wall, limestone aglow with jade hues, shimmering under luminous coral. A natural gate opened to a realm beyond earthly bounds. A palace beneath the sea. Coral spires rose like crystal columns, casting hazy glows. Pearl shells embedded in stone walls sparkled silver rays, enchanting every sense in a mystical tableau. Tamika moved slowly, hands parting soft seaweed, feeling the pulse of the vast water mountain. Carved reliefs on flanking walls chronicled Gloria's lineage and glory, women adorned with gleaming pendants, kneeling in moonlit prayer, men toiling in riverbank fields, families sharing simple vegetarian meals, brimming with laughter. Each deep etching bore sweat, tears, and mortal strife when kin bonds tore under gold's weight, power's pull. Amid this, Selena emerged from a glowing coral veil, her pearlescent eyes shimmering, chest gently rising. She waved softly. Plankton swarmed, forming radiant pillars from the cave floor. Ancestral spirits summoned, their whispered breaths blended with waves' echoes, a somber sacred chorus. Each light pillar bore an ancestor's face, wives, daughters, mothers, granddaughters, eyes heavy with ancestral feuds. Tamika's heart paused as ancestral light flooded the space. No scolding, only commanding silence, history crystallized in a moment. From the cave's depths, a wordless verdict surged, crashing into her soul. Only Gloria's true repentance restoring justice could dissolve the pendant, reviving honest love. The decree echoed, seeping into every water crevice. Tamika trembled under its weight. She edged forward, eyes tracing the light's path to a central stone dais. A round table, etched with a crescent moon, oozed silver blood. The moonlit pendant Tamika bore seemed to meld with the stone, emitting a buoyant glow, as if drawing power from this crystal palace. Placing the pendant gently on the dais, light erupted, scattering countless rays, dancing on cave walls, sketching young Gloria, draped in green silk, clutching the treacherous love charm. Selena leaned forward, her eyes gentle yet unyielding. Crystal light shattered the grim relief, golden era carvings splitting as if ambitions collapse. Ancestral light pillars closed around Tamika, encircling her like a judging halo, reminding each daughter of Gloria's line to bear responsibility for wounded land, fractured kinship. In that moment, Tamika's heart surged with pity, rage. She felt the sweat, scars Gloria's past inflicted on a beloved daughter. Yet hope bloomed too. For the first time, an unbreakable curse glimpsed escape, not through force or fury, but sincere repentance. Tamika bowed, whispering Gloria's name in her mind, praying she'd find courage to own her sins, redeem through love. Amid the glittering crystal hall, Tamika lifted the pendant, faith flaring like dawn's first ray. Waves, sobs pounded, bolstering her. Ancestral spirits blazed pure light, banishing grudge clung to stone through ages. The pendant turned translucent, its silver veins morphing into warm radiance, sweeping the cave. Shimmering crystal scales fell to the stone table, melting into pearl-like droplets. These beads trickled to the riverbed, rippling outward in silver waves, linking cave to outer riverbank. Unyielding love wove into water's molecules, promising redemption for Cape Fear's kin. Selena quietly folded her arms, letting Tamika stand in the summoned halo. Her tear-glistened eyes shone joy, true magic reborn. Ancestral pillars faded into the void, leaving only glowing corals hum, soft waves lap. The crystal cave stilled, but Tamika's soul pulsed eternally with love's beat. Emerging from the river's heart, Tamika felt the crescent moon blaze brighter than ever. The river mirrored 1,000 stars, evoking ancestors' smiling spirits. Her reborn heart cradled fierce hope, true love can't be caged, earnest repentance shatters wicked chains. Under tranquil moonlight, Selena the mermaid vanished, leaving Tamika an undying flame, guiding love beyond mortal mythic bounds. The great hall shimmered under a silver light veil. Sea anemones' glints danced on stone arches, weaving an ethereal scene. Tamika stepped lightly, her heart swaying with waves echoing from the lake's depths, halting at the center. Before her stood Gloria, regal in a black velvet gown, steeped in anemone glow. A cold halo of power, ambition, encircled her. Yet in her eyes, Tamika glimpsed torment she couldn't hide. Tamika knelt, her brow brushing the cool stone floor, as if merging her heart with the crystalline water rippling beneath. Each breath, a timeless prayer, to banish hatred chaining love, shatter dark spells binding generations' hearts. In absolute silence, only dripping water echoed from cave walls. Tamika offered her resolve, forgiveness, reaching ancestors, Selena, the blessing mermaid. Gloria stood still, her form tilting under the high vault, black velvet melded with past shadows, dimming the radiant veil behind. Her lips pressed tight, hands limp, wrestling old grudges against sweet memories. Faint wrinkles at her eyes betrayed remorse, yet her authority held firm. Only facing Tamika, her future daughter-in-law, kneeling, did her heart stir undeniably. Suddenly, Selena's form flickered in misty haze. The mermaid glided forth, skin gleaming like crystal pearls, hair flowing in briny air. She raised the moonlit pendant high. Light converged into a radiant beam, binding the space. All hall's glows funneled to the pendant, anemone glints yielding to its spreading aura. Selena spoke no words, only flicked her hand. The pendant fell, spinning mid-air, unleashing silver waves. Light touched tiny suspended water beads, forming a miniature Milky Way. Gloria, trembling, stepped back, her velvet gown quivering, a final stand of power's sway. Tears welled, glistening pale on her cheeks. Before the pendant struck stone, Selena unclenched her fist, a soft clink ringing like a final note. The pendant shattered, moonlit crystal shards scattering. The curse's power dissolved with each droplet. Silver beads flowed across the stone table, spreading light over the cave floor. Time held its breath, then erupted in pure radiance. Gloria bowed her head, her stern face etched with regret. A wordless farewell hummed, her tears a belated apology. Hatred liquefied, dark magic vanished, leaving justice's peace. Tamika rose slowly, eyes shining with renewed faith, as if bathed in ocean's grace. Under the final light burst, Gloria's black velvet gown shifted to somber silk, drifting then dissolving into fading light pillars. Tamika approached her. Their generational meeting held no blame, only a bond through eyes, of forgiveness, love. The curse's chains turned to mist, yielding to hearts beating free with Cape Fear's waves. In the vast room, Gloria stood, eyes teary, scanning numbers on the handed paper. Wooden homes quaked in floods, green fields awaited irrigation. Now all rested on the will of a woman once sowing discord. Silently, she signed the deed, transferring her estate to Tamika, riverside lands, old canals, fertile plots of her lineage. The pen's slow scratch shed ambition's dream, yielding to belated remorse. As papers finalized, Tamika received keys to the granary, canals, a ledger of village debts. Her heart surged, not just for the vast wealth, but the chance to turn pain into hope. Fragrant rice would no longer come from Crisis Arms, but from the land's bounty she now held. Old debt pages would be erased, restoring faith to those once destitute. That day, Tamika stood at the river dock, where canals had dried through seasons. Hoe in hand, sleeves rolled, she joined villagers, levelling embankments, clearing murky flows, her eyes unflinching, hands deftly set wave-breaking stones. Communal strength filled breaches. Sweat beaded her brow, mingling with mud, yet her smile endured, a beacon of reignited faith. When headwaters rushed, filling Tamika's cleared canals, verdant greens stretched toward drizzle. Village cheers echoed, each sweet droplet turned wastes to orchards, promising food sovereignty. All raised cool water glasses, tasting salt's tang, future's sweetness. Next, Tamika launched volunteer workdays, inviting youth to learn planting, tending fields. Laughter, chatter replaced old, wary glances. Under an ancient tamarind, teens competed, harvesting water spinach, cabbage. Elders shared tales, soil-loosening secrets. Life pulsed, a human nature symphony. Harvests fueled more than one season. Fruit Grove profits funded scholarships for poor children. As carts rolled mangoes, ripe grapes to market, Tamika funneled earnings to the village Red Cross. Neighbours no longer saw a poor rice hauler, but a compassionate leader, weaving kindness into lasting value. The Golden Girl of Cape Fear tale rippled beyond the river, reaching Wilmington City. Amid lush cashew groves, Tamika's image, kneeling at sunset, gifting seeds to the needy, became forgiveness's emblem. On city walls, vibrant murals rose, her with the gleaming river, Gloria's key handover, marking the village's new era. Not just locals, tourists flocked, bearing blessings, smiles. They joined the Gratitude Harvest Festival, where Tamika and villagers offered white rice, ginger tea, cornbread. Folk drums thumped at the pier, work songs blended with distant hoofbeats. Once more, the community hoisted Tamika, once impoverished, on shoulders, a symbol of unyielding compassion. Watching her path, Gloria stood silent in her old home's shadow, eyes wet with bitter regret. She recalled first seeing Tamika haul fish ashore, later clearing canals. Now she choked seeing her erase past stains with boundless heart, lifting the community from want. Redemption, she knew, wasn't in apologies, but in deeds that beautified life. Sunset reddened bamboo banks. Tamika returned riverside, gazing at day's final pink rays. Smiling softly, she vowed the journey stretched on. True love would guide. Villagers, young to old, cast admiring looks. Here a loving, sharing heart wrote a wondrous tale. From toiling pauper, Tamika rose, a steadfast torch, igniting faith in compassion's magic. Dawn's glow bathed Cape Fear's riverbank in blazing gold. The air turned sacred as Tamika and Darius knelt under an ancient tamarind, hands clasped, eyes meeting like twin candles aflame. Night's dew-soaked earth yielded to dawn's first rays, glinting on tamarind leaves, weaving a sequined carpet beneath them. Buffalo hide drums thumped along the riverside path, their rhythm a heartbeat, heralding the community's grand day. On the water, crisp mist dissolved in warm light. From it emerged Selena, Cape Fear's mermaid. Waves swirled around her slender form. Crystal hair flowed with currents, emerald eyes brimming with joy. She glided above the surface, light as sea fog's veil, her serene smile comforting. Selena spoke no words, only raised a hand in greeting. Drums and folk hollers blended, echoing an ancient, unfading chant. African-American villagers thronged the bank, hundreds of faces radiant with joy, reverence. They donned vibrant garb, flaring dresses like lotus petals, turban head wraps styled as laurel crowns honoring love. Lion dancers leaped on sandy shores, relentless drums led hollers, horns blared like harvest calls. Youth tiptoed, awaiting turns to toss sashes, circling, twirling under morning sun, celebrating the couple. Selena drifted to Tamika, Darius. A pure halo glowed gentle as dawn's breeze. She traced an arc through the air. Sea droplets sparkled, blessing their grace. Each drop anointed their brows, sealing a holy mark. In Selena's gaze, Tamika saw nature's witness, boundless mercy, as if ocean hands had granted magic to surmount countless trials. Under the tamarind, the couple vowed, through poverty, jealousy, or class prejudice, They'd hold fast, sharing joys, bearing sorrows. Drums flared, banishing past shadows, lifting vows to eternal truth. Darius bowed, slipping onto Tamika's hand a simple ring, shell and moonlight, symbol of love transcending wealth. Tamika felt the vow merge with the river's pulse, flooding her veins, coursing through her. The community rejoiced, toasting under the tree's shade. Ginger wine's spice carried hopes, honeyed teas, sweetness bore thanks. Riverside murals magnified Tamika, Darius. Glass-framed gems captured Selena atop rocks, drawing tourists' awe. Folk hollers sailed beyond the river, over levees to sparse wooden homes, dusty alleys. Amid fervent joy, the Cape Fear's magic tale resounded like legend. Elders told children of Tamika's forgiveness, Gloria's atonement, Selena, guardian of true love. They reminded, envy sows division, but compassion, honest love, heal all wounds. Gleaming eyes bonded, cells of a new life, where kinship defied barriers. Yet deep beneath, where Selena's light broke cursed chains, plankton's hum lingered. In the crystal cave, cracked relief stones flickered, hinting that even grand magic faces future tests. The old curse dissolved, but ancestral spirits watched, awaiting new trials to prove love, forgiveness could defy fate. As the wedding closed, Tamika, Darius, and the community knelt on sand, hands waving farewell to Selena's boundless realm. The mermaid smiled, flashing a silver scale, then sank into misty waters. Drums sang softly, hollers trailed the current. A vow, their journey continued, the mystic tale unfinished. If your heart stirs at love's power over barriers, if you crave the next chapter of Cape Fear's riverbed secrets, hit subscribe, share, comment below. Together we'll uncover more African tales, where magic and life entwine in water's pulse, human hearts.